What if I told you that a coin many people ignored, rejected, and even confused with a quarter could secretly be one of the most misunderstood and mysterious dollar coins in US history? A coin that collectors once laughed at, but today, certain rare examples sell for hundreds, thousands, and shockingly high prices that continue to climb. This is the true story of the 1979 S. Susan B. Anthony dollar. A coin surrounded by controversy, secret varieties, and hidden details that most people never notice. When the Susan B. Anthony dollar was introduced in 1979, the US Mint believed it was creating the future of American money. It was the first US coin to feature a real woman, Susan B. Anthony, a civil rights icon and leader of the women's suffrage movement. The design honored equality and progress, but the public reaction was disastrous. The coin was almost the same size and color as a quarter, causing constant confusion. Vending machines rejected it. People refused to use it. Millions of coins went straight into storage. The San Francisco Mint struck special versions of the Susan B. Anthony dollar for collectors, marked with an S mint mark. These were proof coins, carefully made, sharper than circulation strikes, and never meant for everyday use. But during this process, mistakes were made, and those mistakes are what turned the 1979 S. Susan B. Anthony dollar into a collector's mystery. The most famous mystery begins with the mint mark itself. On some 1979 S dollars, the S mint mark looks soft, rounded, and filled in. On others, it appears sharp, clear, and perfectly defined. At first, collectors didn't understand why. Then the truth emerged. Two different mint mark styles existed, created from different punches. These are now known as Type 1 and Type 2. And the difference between them can mean the difference between a common coin and a very valuable one. The Type 1 S mint mark looks blob-like, almost worn, even on brand new coins. These were struck first and are more common. In typical proof condition, they sell for $10 to $40, sometimes more imperfect grades. But the Type 2 is where the mystery and money begin. The Type 2 S mint mark is razor-sharp, thin, and crystal clear. It was introduced later, quietly, with no announcement. The mint never warned collectors. No packaging change. No explanation. Only a small number was struck before production ended. For years, collectors didn't even realize they existed. Many were misidentified, sold cheaply, or ignored entirely. Once discovered, everything changed. A genuine 1979 S Type 2 Susan B. Anthony dollars can sell for $300 to $1,500 in normal proof condition. High-grade certified examples routinely bring $3,000 to $6,000, and near-perfect coins have crossed $10,000 at auction. The finest known examples have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, proving this coin is no joke. And that's just the beginning. What makes the 1979 S. Susan B. Anthony dollar truly mysterious is how many unusual characteristics exist beyond the mint mark. Some proofs show extreme cameo contrast, deep black mirrored fields with frosted devices so sharp they look sculpted. There are also rare die varieties where the date, lettering, or eagle details show doubling under magnification. While minor doubling sells for a few $100s, strong doubled varieties can reach $1,000 to $5,000, especially when paired with the rare Type 2 mint mark. Collectors also hunt for off-metal strikes, coins struck on the wrong planchet. While extremely rare, Susan B. Anthony dollars struck on quarter planchets or foreign blanks are among the most valuable modern errors in existence. When authenticated, these errors have sold for $20,000 to $75,000, depending on condition and visual impact. Then there are deep cameo perfection coins, proofs graded at the highest levels with flawless surfaces. These are condition rarities. Even common varieties can explode in value when perfection is involved. Top-grade 1979 S proofs have sold for thousands, and the rare varieties multiply that value dramatically. Auction records prove the demand is real. Every time a confirmed 1979 S Type 2 appears in a major auction, bidding intensifies. Prices regularly exceed estimates. Collectors compete aggressively because supply is limited and demand keeps growing. As more people learn the truth about this coin, fewer examples remain available. Some collectors believe the story is still unfinished. Because the Susan B. Anthony dollar was unpopular and mishandled, many proof coins were broken out of sets, mishandled, or lost. Some Type 2 examples may still be sitting unrecognized in old collections. Others may be mislabeled as common proofs. And if a previously unknown major error variety were discovered, especially paired with a Type 2 mint mark, it could instantly become one of the most valuable modern US coins ever found. This is where speculation enters legendary territory. While confirmed public auction prices remain in the thousands to tens of thousands, elite collectors privately discuss values far beyond that for unique or one-of-a-kind discoveries. In numismatics, true uniqueness changes everything. A single, undisputed, unprecedented error could command record-breaking money, not because of face value, but because of history, rarity, and desire. Identifying a valuable 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar requires careful inspection. First, look at the mint mark under magnification. A real Type 2 S is thin, sharp, and perfectly formed, not rounded or filled. Check the surfaces for deep mirror fields and strong cameo frost. Look for doubling in the date, lettering, and eagle's feathers. And most importantly, certification matters. Any unusual weight, color, or strike should raise questions. Because of counterfeits, altered coins, and misidentified proofs, professional grading is essential. No serious buyer will pay top dollar without authentication from a major grading service. What if I told you that one of the most celebrated coins in American history, the 1976 bicentennial quarter, a coin designed to honor 200 years of independence, could secretly be worth hundreds, thousands, or even sky-high sums collectors dream about? A coin millions of Americans spent carelessly, used in pockets, jars, and vending machines. Yet some of these quarters have sold for prices that can make a serious collector's heart skip a beat. Today, we're diving deep into the most rare and mysterious 1976 bicentennial quarter dollar, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but hides secrets, errors, and varieties that turn an everyday 25-cent piece into a potential fortune. The story begins with the year 1976, the United States' bicentennial year, celebrating 2 centuries since independence. The US Mint wanted a coin that would capture the nation's pride and history, and so they commissioned a special reverse design featuring a colonial drummer, a torch, and 13 stars, symbolizing the original colonies. All quarters that year bore the dual date, 1776 to 1976, to commemorate the milestone. One of the most famous rare varieties is the silver-clad bicentennial quarter, struck on a planchet intended for special collector sets, but accidentally released into circulation. Authentic silver-clad examples have sold for $7,000 to $19,800, with exceptional specimens reaching $55,000 or even higher. Their rarity stems from production oversight, limited release, and the massive number of standard quarters hiding these anomalies in plain sight. Another mystery involves double-die errors, particularly on the obverse, where Washington's portrait and the lettering Liberty and In God We Trust appear doubled. Minor doubling can fetch a few $100s, but dramatic examples can exceed $5,000 to $12,000, and in perfect uncirculated condition, range from modest premiums for slight offsets to $12,000 or more for extreme misalignments where most of the design is missing. Clipped planchettes and die cracks further add to the bicentennial quarter's allure. A clipped planchet results in a curved or straight missing portion of the coin, often commanding $1,000 to $6,000, depending on size and severity. Die cracks, raised metal lines or cuds, show where the mint dies were stressed and failing. The 1976 bicentennial quarter also holds a secret for sharp-eyed collectors. Certain San Francisco mint proofs display exceptional cameo contrast, with deep black mirrored fields and frosted devices. These proof coins were meticulously struck, but sometimes ended up mispackaged or released into circulation. High-grade proof coins with cameo perfection routinely command $3,000 to $15,000, and pairing a rare error with perfect cameo surfaces can create coins worth $50,000 or more. The combination of historical significance, design appeal, and rarity drives these prices. Auction records illustrate just how serious collectors are. Every time a rare 1976 bicentennial quarter appears, bidding wars erupt. Coins with off-metal strikes, double dies, or extreme errors often exceed pre-auction estimates by tens of thousands of dollars. Some of the most dramatic sales have exceeded $100,000, particularly for coins with multiple anomalies or pristine condition. Even well-known examples continue to climb in value, reflecting their status as both historic artifacts and highly sought-after collector treasures. Identifying a rare 1976 bicentennial quarter requires careful attention. First, examine the composition. A silver-clad coin has a different weight and a distinct ring. Inspect the design carefully for double details, die cracks or irregularities. Off-center strikes are immediately obvious, but subtle errors may require magnification. Broad strikes and clipped planchettes often reveal themselves by size, shape or missing metal. Certification by a reputable grading service is crucial, as it ensures authenticity and maximizes value. What makes the 1976 bicentennial quarter truly fascinating is the contrast between its common appearance and its hidden potential. Millions of these quarters were spent, lost or stored, yet some were quietly transformed into multi-thousand-dollar treasures by mint mistakes, misalignment, or rare silver planchets. Collectors prize these coins not just for their value, but for their history. The story of America's 200th birthday, of a nation celebrating freedom, yet producing coins with mysterious anomalies that endure decades later. What if I told you that one small nickel, minted in 1964, could hold a secret worth hundreds, thousands, or even mind-blowing sums that most collectors only dream about? A coin that appears ordinary to the untrained eye, but is actually one of the most mysterious and sought-after US coins ever made. This is the story of the 1964 SMS nickel, a coin shrouded in secrecy, hidden from the public eye for decades, and now commanding prices that can shock even seasoned numismatists. The year 1964 was a pivotal one for US coinage. The Lincoln cent, Jefferson nickel, and Roosevelt dime were all in circulation, and the mint was preparing for a future where silver would be gradually removed from coins, testing strikes, special sets, and experimental minting methods. Unknown to the public, the mint had quietly produced what would become the Special Mint Set, SMS coins, a series of coins intended to provide collectors with examples that were superior to normal circulation strikes, but not quite proofs. While officially, SMS coins began in 1965, discoveries over time revealed that 1964 SMS coins, including nickels, were actually struck, creating a secret treasure hidden in plain sight. The 1964 SMS nickel is unlike any other circulation coin from that year. Its surfaces are smooth, almost satiny, with sharp and precise details that catch the light in a way that ordinary coins cannot. The devices, the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, Monticello on the reverse, appear crisp, with edges finely defined. Unlike proofs, these coins are not mirror-like, but they have a luster and clarity that immediately distinguishes them from standard nickels. Every detail, from Jefferson's hair to the columns on Monticello, is sharper than circulation strikes, yet not over-polished, giving the coin a quiet elegance that has fascinated collectors for decades. The coin's rarity and mystery are compounded by the fact that the mint never officially acknowledged its existence. For years, collectors and experts debated whether these coins were altered proofs, experimental strikes, or just misidentified circulation coins. Metallurgical tests, die studies, and professional grading eventually confirmed their authenticity. Genuine 1964 SMS nickels do exist, and they are extremely rare. Values for the 1964 SMS nickel vary widely, reflecting their rarity, condition, and grading. A lower-grade example might sell for $500 to $1,200, but coins in better condition can reach $5,000 to $12,000. Top-grade certified examples have sold at auction for $25,000 or more, and truly exceptional specimens, rare in the extreme, have the potential to surpass $50,000 or higher, especially if they exhibit unusual die characteristics or proof-like qualities. In some rare private sales, collectors have speculated that perfect, undiscovered specimens could reach six figures, although such coins are almost impossible to find. The mystery deepens with error varieties. Some 1964 SMS nickels exhibit doubled dies, particularly on the obverse lettering and date. While minor doubling may bring modest premiums, bold doubled dies dramatically increase the coin's value, often reaching $3,000 to $10,000 depending on condition. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clipped planchets are other potential anomalies. A nickel struck off-center by 20 to 50% can fetch thousands at auction, and a dramatic misalignment could command even higher prices. Broad strikes, caused when the retaining collar fails, create enlarged and distorted coins that collectors prize, often selling for $2,000 to $6,000 or more. Clipped planchettes, where a portion of the blank is missing, can also be extremely valuable, especially when combined with SMS surfaces. Some SMS nickels also show die cracks, cuds, or planchette anomalies. Raised metal lines, missing design areas, or unusual textures caused by damaged dies add a layer of uniqueness that collectors love. Minor cracks may add hundreds of dollars to the value, while dramatic die breaks and cuds can easily bring $1,500 to $5,000, and in rare high-grade coins even more. Each of these anomalies tells a story of the mint's experimental processes and the high-pressure production environment of 1964. Auction sales underscore the coin's appeal. Every time a verified 1964 SMS nickel appears on the market, bidding escalates rapidly. These coins are not just rare, they are historical artifacts, capturing a moment when the mint quietly experimented, defied expectations, and created coins that would become legendary decades later. Prices consistently exceed estimates, and collectors compete fiercely for the limited number of certified examples. Record sales often surpass the $20,000 to $30,000 range, particularly for coins in pristine condition with strong details and rare error characteristics. What makes the 1964 SMS nickel truly fascinating is its combination of rarity, secrecy, and aesthetic appeal. Unlike most modern coins, which are plentiful and predictable, this nickel carries a sense of discovery and intrigue. Collectors don't just acquire a coin, they acquire a piece of hidden history. Its quiet surfaces, crisp details, and unexpected existence make it a crown jewel in any advanced coin collection. Identifying a genuine 1964 SMS nickel requires meticulous examination. The surfaces must be smooth, consistent, and free of artificial polishing. The strike should be sharp, showing clear, precise details on both Jefferson and Monticello. Weight should match normal nickel specifications, and subtle differences in luster and texture are key indicators. Certification by a reputable grading service is essential, as many coins have been misrepresented or altered to mimic SMS characteristics. Only professional verification guarantees authenticity and maximum value. Beyond its rarity, the SMS nickel is mysterious because it challenges what collectors thought they knew about US coinage. It was never officially announced, was produced in extremely limited numbers, and remained hidden for decades. Unlike circulated coins or widely recognized proof sets, its story was kept in shadows, and discovering a genuine example is akin to uncovering a secret locked away by history. Collectors continue to search for undiscovered examples. Many remain tucked away in inherited collections, old rolls, or misidentified groupings. The possibility of finding a high-grade, previously unknown SMS nickel drives excitement, speculation, and intense competition among numismatists. Each new discovery reshapes the understanding of 1964 coinage, revealing that even in a single year, the mint created treasures far beyond what history books acknowledge. The 1964 SMS nickel represents more than monetary value. It is a numismatic puzzle, a historical enigma, and a collector's dream. Its existence proves that mistakes, experiments, and secret minting processes can create extraordinary coins hiding in plain sight. It illustrates the power of curiosity, careful observation, and patience in uncovering hidden treasures. What if the quarter sitting forgotten in a drawer, scratched, dirty, or worn from decades of use, is not ordinary at all, but a silent survivor of one of the biggest secrets in US coin history? A coin so misunderstood that millions were spent without a second look, yet rare examples have sold for thousands, tens of thousands, and even prices that shock seasoned collectors. Today, we are uncovering the truth behind the most rare and mysterious 1965 quarter dollar, a coin born in chaos, secrecy, and mistakes that were never supposed to leave the US Mint. The year 1965 changed American money forever. For generations, quarters were made of solid silver. But rising silver prices pushed the US government into a historic decision: remove silver from circulating coins. The public was not fully informed. The mint worked under pressure, racing to strike massive quantities of new copper-nickel-clad quarters, while trying to prevent people from hoarding silver coins. This is why the 1965 quarter is surrounded by mystery. Officially, number 1965 quarter was supposed to be silver, yet verified examples surfaced. Coins struck on leftover 90% silver planchets meant for 1964 quarters. For years, the mint denied their existence. Collectors were told these coins were impossible. But scales, metal testing, and professional grading proved otherwise. That single mistake turned an everyday quarter into a 5-figure treasure, and in rare cases, a 6-figure legend. A genuine 1965 silver quarter feels different. It weighs more than a standard clad quarter, around 6.25 grams. Its edge is solid silver, with no copper stripe. When dropped gently, it rings with a high-pitched silver tone instead of a dull thud. These coins are not just valuable. They are historic evidence of a moment when the mint lost control. Even worn examples can bring $5,000 to $10,000, while certified pieces have sold between $15,000 and $35,000. Exceptional specimens push far higher, and collectors agree that a perfect, undiscovered example could shatter records. But silver is only the beginning. The rushed production of 1965 also created dramatic double-die quarters. Letters in God We Trust, the word Liberty, or Washington's profile can show strong doubling visible, even without magnification. Minor examples sell for hundreds, but bold doubling can command $1,000 to $5,000, and extreme, eye-catching pieces have crossed into 5-figure territory. Off-center strikes are another product of mint chaos. When the blank wasn't properly aligned, while dramatic 30 to 50% off-center examples have reached $2,000 to $6,000, and extreme pieces have sold for $10,000 or more. Broad strikes tell a similar story. Without the retaining collar, the coin spreads outward, creating a wide, distorted quarter. Sharply struck broad strikes in high condition can exceed $3,000. Clipped planchettes add another layer of mystery. These coins were struck on metal blanks cut incorrectly. Multiple clips on a single coin can sell for thousands, with dramatic examples exceeding $6,000. Rotated die errors are especially fascinating. When the reverse design is rotated compared to the front, the coin appears twisted. Slight rotations bring modest premiums, but extreme rotations of 90 or 180 degrees have sold for $1,500 to $5,000, and rare examples climb even higher. Then there are die cracks, cuds, and die breaks, raised metal lines, blobs, or missing design sections caused by damaged dies pushed beyond their lifespan. These can range from hundreds to several $1,000s, depending on size and visual impact. What makes the 1965 quarter truly mysterious is not just the money, it's the secrecy. This coin represents a moment when the US Mint quietly changed history, denied mistakes, and released millions of coins that collectors are still discovering today. Because all 1965 quarters lack mint marks, rare examples hide in plain sight. A coin worth thousands looks almost identical to one worth face value. Collectors who have found valuable 1965 quarters often discovered them by accident, inside old jars, inherited collections, or rolls pulled from banks decades later. Auction records show steady demand, with certified error examples frequently breaking expectations. As fewer remain undiscovered, prices continue to rise. So before you ignore that dirty, scratched quarter from 1965, take a closer look. Check the edge. Weigh it. Listen to the sound. Look for doubling, misalignment, cracks, or anything that seems wrong. Because in the world of rare coins, wrong is where the money is. That ordinary-looking quarter could be a survivor of mint chaos, a forbidden silver strike, or an error never meant to exist. And the difference between spending it and studying it could be the difference between 25 cents and thousands, or even a once-in-a-lifetime payday. What if I told you that one small penny from 1964, a coin most people would never look at twice, could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even numbers so high they sound unreal? A coin surrounded by secrecy, denial, and unanswered questions. A coin the US Mint officially said should not exist. Yet today, it is one of the most mysterious and talked about Lincoln cents ever discovered. 1964 was supposed to be a normal year for pennies. The Lincoln cent was still being struck in copper, production numbers were massive, and nothing unusual was announced. But behind closed doors, the US Mint was experimenting. Rising metal prices, preparation for future coinage changes, and internal testing led to special strikes that were never meant for the public. Officially, the US Mint claims special mint sets began in 1965. But collectors discovered something shocking. A very small number of 1964 pennies with unmistakable SMS characteristics. At first, experts refused to believe it. That contradiction is exactly what makes this penny so special. Collectors call it mysterious because it breaks the rules. It was not supposed to exist, yet it does. It was not released, yet examples survived. And to this day, the Mint has never fully explained why these coins were struck or how they escaped. For years, some believed these coins were altered proofs or polished circulation strikes. But metallurgical testing, dye analysis, and professional grading changed everything. Leading grading services authenticated genuine 1964 SMS pennies and certified them as real special mint set coins. That single decision transformed them from curiosities into elite numismatic treasures. And the values? This is where things become truly shocking. A confirmed 1964 SMS penny in lower condition can sell for $8,000 to $15,000. Better examples regularly reach $25,000 to $60,000. High-grade specimens with strong surfaces and minimal marks have sold for six figures, with documented auction prices exceeding $100,000. One of the finest known examples sold for around $150,000, instantly cementing the coin's legendary status. The mystery deepens when error varieties enter the picture. Some 1964 SMS pennies show dye polishing lines, unusual textures, and strike characteristics not seen on standard coins. Others show subtle double details, especially in the lettering and date. If a true SMS penny were ever discovered with a dramatic double dye, off-metal strike, or transitional composition error, it would instantly become one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever known. Collectors search relentlessly for these possibilities. Identifying a real 1964 SMS penny requires extreme caution. Most 1964 pennies are worth only face value. Many polished or altered coins are falsely sold as SMS. A genuine example will show consistent satin surfaces across the entire coin, not artificial shine. The strike will be razor sharp, especially in Lincoln's hair above the ear and the bow tie area. The rims will be squared, not rounded. Under magnification, the texture will appear uniform and intentional, not scratched or buffed. Weight is also important. A real 1964 SMS penny should match normal copper cent specifications. Any deviation may suggest damage or alteration rather than rarity. Certification by a top grading service is essential. No serious buyer will consider an uncertified example. Auction history proves the demand is real. Every time a confirmed 1964 SMS penny appears at auction, it creates excitement across the coin world. Bidding wars are common. Prices consistently exceed estimates. Each sale reinforces the idea that this is not just a rare coin. It is a numismatic anomaly, a coin that rewrites what collectors thought they knew. What truly sets this penny apart is not just scarcity or value, but secrecy. Unlike most famous rarities, there is no official story, no public explanation, no mint documentation released to the public. The 1964 SMS penny exists in the shadows of history, known only through surviving examples and collector research. That mystery is powerful. It means there could still be undiscovered examples, coins sitting in old collections, inherited jars, forgotten rolls, or misidentified holdings. Because most people don't know this coin exists, it can hide in plain sight, mistaken for an ordinary penny, spent, lost, or ignored.